Hello viewer, hope the day is treating you right. I return with some more. I was a teenage exocolonist. Last time we were away on an exploration over at the ridges. Really nice place. But towards the end we actually managed to find some ruins of an alien civilization. So now we know, without a doubt, that someone has been here before us. But it also looks like they actually left completely without a trace. Wonder what's up with that. Maybe they reached the same level as us, built a spaceship and just went through the wormhole? We just don't know. Now I do remember, before I left off, most people appear to have something to say here, so let's start with our best buddy here. You find Cal catching a break in the shade of one of the gardening sheds, a wide-brimmed hat pulled down low over his eyes. Hearing you approach, he lifts the brim and shoots you a smile. Hey Saul, taking a break too? Someone give you a data band. It might have been Cal. Oh, so this is what it's about. Yeah, last time there was the Vertumnalia festival. And someone gave us a data band with our favorite songs, so we have a secret admirer. And it looks like we can actually just bluntly ask if he is that. Well, I have a feeling that he indeed is. He's the one we have the most friendship with. So it kinda looks like this is the decision of whose personal route you want to go on, if any. I don't know much about the endings of this game, but I do know that every single one of them has a romance ending. So we could go on the Cal ending right away, but if I'm completely honest, I'm not really feeling up to any romance in this story, at least this time around. So I think I'm actually going to cut this whole subplot short. There's gonna be no romance here, just the sci-fi. You shove the data band into your pocket and decide you have better things to do than track down who gave it to you. Yeah, we have better things to do than romance. Like, I don't know. What were we doing again? Well, I'm not too far away from maxing out toughness. Maybe that's a thing I can work on. And also the end of the year is quite rapidly approaching. So that is something to consider. Okay. Oh, Anemone still has something to say. Let's see. So this is unrelated to the secret admirer stuff, let's see. You spot Anemone halfway up a garrison watchtower, her legs wrapped around the scaffolding as she cranes to look over the fence. Through a pair of holoculars, you clear your throat and she peers down at you and waves. Saul, come up here, I wanna ask you something. You clamber easily up the scaffolding. Anemone gives you a high five. Here, look through these, Anemone says, shoving the holoculars into your hands. You raise them to your eyes and look where she's pointing. A long ways out, much farther than the expeditions are going, you spot a dark humanoid shape moving through the towering fungal forest. Oh wow, these holoculars must be really powerful. But if you're seeing it, there's got to be other lookouts, right? It's not like we're the only ones up here. So they should be seeing it too. See him? Anemone asks. It's this, I swear it is. He's always sneaking out over the walls. Yes, I'm aware. I often go with him myself, so what? Anemone stares at you. So what? She repeats, aghast. He's gonna get in trouble. Only if you tell on him. Well, yeah, Anemone sputters, but someone should. The adults say we're not supposed to go outside the colony unless it's an expedition, Anemone says, taking the holoculars back and looping them around her neck. And this just goes whenever he wants. What if he gets hurt? What if he dies? She wrinkles her nose. What if he picks up a weird alien disease and comes back with 3 heads? Well, I have a feeling that would actually help his disposition. He would always have someone to talk to. But it's a little bit unlike you to be that worried about this. Anemone scratches her cheek, where acne's made her skin dry and sore-looking. Ow, she mutters, as bits flake off. Well, that's actually positive for you. With your augment and all. I just don't know what to do about it, she says. What do you think? All of these are really nosy, actually. I think he would appreciate it if we just stay out of his business. I can't do that, Anemone pouts. As the strongest kid in the colony, I gotta protect all the other kids. I see. So, it's about that, huh? You're, I don't even know how, consciously or subconsciously. She's taking over her brother's role, huh? Well, that's understandable, and a little bit sad. The colony's got rules for a reason, Anemone says, staring off into the wilderness. If we do our own thing and don't care about the rules, we're all gonna be toast. Kinda like a sports ball team. We're all doing different stuff, but we all gonna play by the same rules, so we can get as many points as we can. Anemone, Sol, you look down at the ground, where a passing colonist is waving up at you. You two get down from there. It's not safe. Okay, sorry, I'm on watch, Anemone shouts back, indicating her holoculars. She shoots you a smile. I guess we should get inside the watchtower, huh? You both climb the rest of the way to the guard platform. Anemone heaves herself over the edge and reaches down to help you up, and you notice that her hands are all banged up and scabbing over with blue scales, probably from scampering all over the place the way she does. She notices you looking and laughs awkwardly. She runs her hand through her fluffy hair. Maybe if I get beat up enough, I'll have so many scales I won't have no more acne, she jokes. Okay, we learned something new about you. What is it? It's probably these values. Yeah, she is very on the loyal part of this scale. High energy. I always knew that. Huh. She's actually leaning towards serious. Interesting. Well, I suppose given the events of the past couple years, I can understand why. Alright. But you're still my gremlin. I will forever remember you as such. Now, what to do? 10 points away from a creativity perk, and 10 points away from max toughness. Well, maximum is always good, so you don't have to worry about it later. Let's see, I don't want to be a guard. That point is moot. Visit the gym. Oh, that's a new area. Let's see which one of these goes with toughness first. Oh, now I remember. The gym is where we upgrade the stuff. Sure, actually. This is our only card like this. Let's see where it goes. Deducing to innovating. And I'm gonna take a guess and say that is a 3-pointer. Oh, 4. Interesting. Well, okay then. I guess back to geoponics we go then. Just keep shoveling some dirt. Yeah, that is the main source of toughness. You're taking your lunch break with Cal and talking about edible vertamnon plants. Did you know that the dirt and climate and stuff actually changes the taste of what you eat? Cal says, putting chickpea curry into his mouth. So the stuff we grow in the dirt here actually tastes different than what we grow in hydroponics. And it all tastes different than it did on the ship or on Earth. It's called terroir, like terra, you know, like Earth. He smiles, a few grains of rice falling from his mouth. Man, I can't wait to eat more native plants, he says. I just think they're gonna be better for us, you know. Like, we breathe this air and we drink the water, so why are we still eating Earth food? Did you already forget the pixie bean incident? Because I remember that wasn't very good for anyone involved. Wow, Cal sounds a lot more sophisticated than you took him for. Like, terroir, really? You're thinking about this when Cal scoops up a handful of red soil. I wonder if vertamnon dirt tastes different. Let's find out, he says, bringing it to his mouth. Well, it's not like you ever ate the Earth dirt while you were on the ship. I don't think they would ever let you do that. We can tell him to use some spices. Or make some mud pies. Now, from a purely technical standpoint, I think I'm loaded up on red cards, enough as it is. Plus this one has a gem, so sure, spice that dirt a little. You suggest that instead of eating dirt, Cal should eat something that grows in the dirt. Maybe something like grass roots that you turn up when tilling fields. Your dad says they're edible, with a strong spicy taste, kind of like ginger. You make a curry with veggies from the greenhouses, eggplant and peppers and tomatoes, all sort of small and sad, because Earth stuff doesn't grow at all that well here. You spice it up with the native gingerish root. It's tangy and a little sweet. Okay, that got me actually curious how that would taste. Alright, +7 toughness. So, one more of this, and we should be good. After that, I don't know. It probably would be nice to complete all of the physical skills. But I'm not actually sure that we have time to do all that combat. Plus I haven't been doing it all this time. I think I'm gonna be okay without it. So, once again, you and Cal sift soil through giant meshes to get all the rocks out. Cal likes to build little figures out of them, carefully balancing them into these totally gravity-defying sculptures. He says it's all about their centers of gravity, but honestly, it looks like magic. Alright, it's wet season. What do we get? Immune to injury. Never receive the injury status effect when hurt. Oh, that's nice. I could have used that one like 2 years earlier, but still, it's nice to have it now. Now I still have the gloves on, right? Yeah, plus 20 combat. So I'm currently at 38, naturally. Yeah, not much chance I'm gonna max this one out. Unless I were to do nothing but this one. Maybe we could look for a little bit of creativity. Might be nice. But first, let's do a sweep. Maybe someone has something to say? Oh, plus collectibles. Well, you know what? Maybe having just a tiny bit of reasoning wouldn't be bad. I'm pretty sure whatever challenge is gonna be for the remaining like 3.5 years that we have in this game, our mental skills are not really gonna be relevant. But since we just mastered the skill and we're getting more mental skill points, we could probably do that. Oh, a little bit of tutoring for extra reasoning. Interesting. Sure, let's do that. You show up to class to find congruence teaching a classroom of younger children. Instance is nowhere to be found. I'm pretty sure that is for the best. Instance doesn't look like one that cares much for children, especially the younger ones. In the absence of further direction, you settle in to help the students with their work. After half an hour, Instance pokes her head into the classroom. Oh, good, you're already here, she says. I trust you'll be able to handle yourself in all subjects and with students of all ages. Ask Congruence if you need any help. She turns to leave, but stops and turns back to you. Thank you, Saul, she says quietly. Since Professor Hell died, well, Congruence and myself are poor replacements for him. I'm grateful for your help. Well, at least she's self-aware. You settle in to help the younger students learn how to use their holopalms to access the HoloNet, Congruence's massive database. Congruence has everything they could ever need. Music, movies, games, novels and comics, a calculator, timer, encyclopedia, textbooks, the colony's social media, specialized tools for different jobs like architectural holograms. It's a massively powerful tool, and it's in their literal hands. They're mostly interested in the games. Well, obviously. Ah, who are you? I've never seen you before. Some understand it less than others. Why do we gonna read about stuff? Nougat whines. Oh, your name's Nougat. That's just adorable. Nougat whines, poking dejectedly at her holo screen. The skin around her newly implanted holopalm looks a little red, like she keeps picking at it. I just wanna go play. How old are you anyway? Like 4, 5? Yeah, pretty sure you don't have the attention span for technical stuff. Okay, let's take a look at that hand. That looks infected. You take a closer look at Nougat's holopalm implant. The edges where it meets the skin are peeling back, and it looks red and puffy. No wonder she's having a hard time concentrating. It looks like it really hurts. You take her to Med Bay, put some antibiotic cream on it, and wrap her hands so she stops picking at it. She is excused from this lesson until her implant heals properly, so you spend some time with her afterwards, showing her how your own holopalm works. The quieter environment of the Med Bay seems to help her concentrate, and soon she's zipping through congruences archives on her own. Looks like you're pretty good at this tutoring business. Ah, good for us. Oh wow, so many kudos. Because we're still popular. Okay. I kinda wanna mix it up actually. Look for something with creativity. At this point I think I'm just looking for stuff to spend the time between the heavier story segments. It's probably as good a character as I can get here. Let's go for humanities. You're running late for humanities class. When you arrive, everyone is gathered in the beanbags around the room's big holoprojector. Chip's computer congruence is displayed on it. She's giving today's lesson, reading an old book of Earth poetry. Oh yeah, Hal used to teach this class. And I'm pretty sure they don't have a replacement in the humanities section. You sit down next to Tang and nudge her in motion. What's up with this? Tang frowns at you. Where have you been? She whispers. Ever since Professor Hal died, Congruence has been teaching this class. Oh. Well, that's quite ironic. Having the AI teach humanities. Then she frowns at everything in general. They said everyone else who might be qualified is too busy. And no, they didn't ask me. Yeah, what does a computer know about poetry? Aside from the technical details. You wrinkle your nose. Biology and physics, sure, you tell tangent. But writing is about expression and understanding the subtleties of human communication. Suddenly, Congruence's monitor swings over to you and recites. Oh, have you all the beauty youth ever knew, that you're so vain? Less pride might serve, if even it were true. And you might gain by humbler show of graces you possess. The haughty bearing makes the charm the less. Okay, is that a real poem? I don't know about that. Tang's eyes go wide, and the class giggles at you. You're pretty sure you just got a clapback from a robot, but you can be sure. Yeah, that kinda sounded like that. Oh well. Alright, final month of wet. Which, as we know by this point, glow is incoming. And last one was very suspiciously easy to beat back. I am still of the opinion that something big is about to happen, so how about I de-stress before that? And tame our pet while we're at it. You spend some time with Ricky. Apparently humans didn't really domesticate dogs. Wolves just started hanging around humans, knowing that they got given leftover food when they cooperated. That's kind of what you hope will happen with the Ricky, I think. Sometimes when you're playing with Ricky, it acts just like the dogs on the Holovids. I'm still keeping these. Just for its ability to turn everything blue. That is good for flash bonuses. Alright. What fresh hell is going to happen this year? Because you can't tell me nothing is going to happen anymore. This is very definitely not that kind of game. And it's not going to change until the end, I think. And it's still so pretty. That's like the most insulting thing about it. So, do I even do anything? Maybe go back to tutoring a little bit. Just a bunch of reasoning. You hear a scuttling of metallic legs, what the heck? And a strange knee-high robot bursts into your engineering lab, going full tilt on its 6 spidery legs. It slams into a wall hard enough to knock itself down. It seems to be having trouble getting back up again, and is flailing its metal legs around dangerously. Okay. So if you're calling it strange, that would mean that you've never seen it before? And if it's bursting into the engineering lab, that sounds like it doesn't come from here, which in turn sounds like we didn't make it. So what exactly is it, and where did it come from? Obviously not having engineering. To fix it, no, smash it or put it back. Well, if we put it back, I think it's just gonna run away again. But as long as I don't know what it is, not sure I want to smash it. Ouch, it accidentally slashes you with a leg while scrambling to find purchase. Stupid robot. Congruence's TV thingy wheels in squeakily as the robot runs off down the hall. Sorry about that, she chirps. I'm so close to getting its new movement algorithm online. I'll have the RoboVax corner it, and we can try again. Okay, so it's one of yours. So why did you let it get out of whatever room it was in? Working with robots is just so hard with no hands, she continues, wheeling back and forth in a display of frustration. This was much easier when Hal was here. I miss him. Congruence doesn't need to clear her throat, but you get the distinct impression she's simulating it anyway. Ahem, well, if you know anyone who loves to tinker with bots, let them know I need a helper. Okay, here we go. You're lying in bed, staring at the wormhole through your window, when you hear a deep thump resonate through the ground. Then a second one, quieter. The woven roof of your room quivers, unleashing a season's worth of fine glowing dust to sift through the air. Well, we do know that these thumps are made by those big obelisk-like machines, but I didn't think they were anywhere around us. Through your open window, you hear voices surrounding the alarm. Sounding the alarm. The annual offensive is here, and leading the charge are two massive faceless. Yeah, what did I tell you? They are ramping everything up. The first year was just testing the new guys. Well, nothing for us. But to move? Oh, and you're still ugly. Well, we can probably take one of them. You grab a blast rifle and report to the front, where a line of soldiers has taken up arms and is waiting for orders. Oh, probably should have equipped the blast cutter. Let's see. The colony prepares to defend itself against the two building-scale faceless, as well as a teeming swarm of smaller Xenos that seethe towards you. Hold steady, orders Security Chief Red. Keep the line. No, Governor Lam yells, running from the front gates to the front of the defensive line. He elbows Red out of the way and waves his arms widely. Bring them closer, draw them in. Dude, if someone dies because you're being a dick, who needs to call all the shots? I might have to punch you. Red stumps himself from shoving Lam back, but just barely, you can tell. Are you serious? He retorts. We can't let them any further into the colony. We're going to fight them on our territory, Lam cries, raising his blast rifle over his head with one hand. We have the walls, let's use them. We let them come inside and pick them off one by one. Okay, for the small ones, that actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Because you have the elevation, you can just shoot down at them. But for the big ones, yeah. I have a feeling it's not gonna work. We can't pick off a faceless, Red sputters from the sidelines. Lam smiles maniacally. You can see the gleam of his teeth from here. I have a plan, he roars. Just follow my lead. And with that, he turns and begins to run towards the approaching animals, roaring taunts and firing wildly into the fray to draw them close. Oh, please, let one of these big guys stomp him dead. At a loss, Red motions you all to fall back and let the animals approach. The area just inside the gates becomes a swirling melee of smaller Xenos and blast rifle fire, the two faceless lumbering slowly behind. Okay, so hard perception challenge. To stay out of the way? Or just get in there? I'm assuming without a plan? Well, we don't have maxed out perception for nothing. Maybe we can do something from here. You're not exactly a professional soldier, but you manage to hold your own against the Xenos, even though you still scream and retreat when something gets too close. You don't injure any humans with your blast rifle at least. Well, that's what matters. Out of the artillery smoke wafting over the battlefield, Lam comes running. Here they come, he shouts joyfully, and plows through the gates with the two faceless galloping behind him. It's without a doubt idiotic and horrendously dangerous. You can't help it. You hit record on your holopalm and film the ensuing chaos. You catch a glimpse of Chief Red putting his hand over his face and sighing. Ah yes. The very human impulse to record stupidity. Glad to see that still the same, even in the future. A squad of Helio soldiers takes up the charge and helps shepherd the faceless into the open area in the middle of the colony. You have horrible flashbacks to the first time you saw a faceless inside these walls. From the looks on the faces of the other Stratos, you're not the only one. Then, you're all thrown to the ground by a tremendous explosion. Oh, you actually stockpiled, like C4. You're just gonna blow them up, huh? Well, maybe that is good for this year. Fire engulfs the center square, roasting the two faceless in an inferno that blasts the sweat from your pores. Rocks and chunks of dirt patter all around you, with the occasional thunk of burning mushwood. Those soldiers nearest the blaze all recoil in surprise, Clearly, no one but Lam knew that the square had been rigged with explosives. Well, that's mighty irresponsible. You don't think anyone was caught in the blast, but it was close. Lam stands before the blaze, laughing and firing at the two tortured faceless as they rose to death. You raise your holopalm to capture the image, his silhouette dark against the column of flame and smoke. It was ridiculously dangerous and stupid, but it does look pretty cool in your recorded footage. People filter out of their hiding places, shielding their faces from the heat coming off the bonfire in the middle of the square. On the horizon, the first watery rays of quiet sunrise are struggling to make a dent in the hot orange glare. The colony's fire suppression system is turned on the square, revealing the charred corpses of the two faceless. Utopia walks by with the reclamation team, hauling an industrial blast cutter on a hover lift. Did he use the mining explosives? Utopia says in awe. Mighty bold of him. Those things will blow a hole in a mountain. Or a creature, I suppose. She sighs. Wish he could have saved them for mining. That must have been the last of them, and we sure can't make more. Then she and her crew are out of earshot as they pick their way down the blast crater to carve up the faceless for recycling. Yeah, stupid glory-seeking idiot. Used up the last of the explosives. Yeah, something much worse is going to happen next year. I'm sure of it. Oh, look at that. Looks like this is a turning point. If we didn't have enough colony defense, maybe this wasn't even enough and we would get overrun? Huh. Well, fortunately. Oh, and we're losing some defense here. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Fortunately, the colony was well defended. You and the other colonists have been fortifying the defenses, putting security above all else. Tonight's defense was still a resounding, if messy, success. But if Utopia's right, you don't have any more of those explosives now. You can't just nanoprint unstable molecules like that. What are you going to do during the next attack? Yeah, that is my question. Oh. Look at that. Everyone's all grown up now. Huh. We sure grow fast. Oh, look at you. Real stylish. Yeah, you two barely changed. Mars is being Mars, naturally. And Kel is the Superman that we all knew him to be. We also don't look half bad, I think. Oh. Well, look at this. This actually survived puberty. And he's actually hot. What's up with that? He looks like an emo supermodel. Well, alright then. Guess I'm gonna stop right here. We have yet another year behind us. Thankfully, without casualties. That's always a plus, but I'm still worried. We will see what happens. But for now, thank you for watching. If you like this story, then please give the video a like. If you're new, check around the channel. Maybe I have something else that is to your liking. And as always, I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care of yourselves and have as good a day as you can make it. Goodbye.